It was marketed as the ultimate adventure, a flight to the end of the world. Champagne, luxury, and a sightseeing tour over the frozen majesty of Antarctica. But on November 28, 1979, Flight 901 flew into a phenomenon known as Sector Whiteout, a terrifying optical illusion where the sky and the ice merge into one, making a massive volcano invisible. The pilots were flying perfectly. The aircraft was functioning perfectly, but they were doomed by a single silent error made thousands of miles away. A change of 2 degrees in a navigation computer that turned a safe sightseeing route into a direct collision course with Mount Erebus. This is the story of the disaster that broke a nation's heart and the orchestrated litany of lies that followed.
In 1979, Air New Zealand offered a unique experience, a day trip to the ice.
Captain Jim Collins was one of the airline's best. He had never flown to Antarctica before.
But he had prepared. He had attended the briefings. He had studied the route.
The route was simple. Fly south from New Zealand. Descend over the flat sea ice of McMurdo Sound.
Give the passengers a view of the mountains from a safe distance. Then fly home. There were 237 passengers and 20 crew on board. They were flying into a place where the normal rules of navigation did not apply. And unknown to Captain Collins, the map in his hand did not match the computer in his plane.
The night before the flight, a pivotal event occurred. The navigation section updated the flight path stored in the ground computer.
The previous coordinate had guided planes down the safe, flat ice of McMurdo Sound.
The new coordinate, entered that night, shifted the flight path 27 miles to the east.
It was the correction of a typographical error. But nobody told the pilots.
Collins trusted his briefing. He believed his computer was taking him to the safe sound.
Waypoints locked. We are tracking to McMurdo.
In reality, the computer was now locking them onto a target, the volcano.
Look, the first icebergs.
Look at him down there. Hi, sir.
Perfect, I can see your action.
Let's give them a good view. Let's get permission to descend.
To see the sights, they had to get under the cloud layer.
Mac Center, this is New Zealand 901. Request descent to 2,000 feet VMC. 901, descent approved. Keep us advised.
The trap was set. They were descending into a world of white. To the pilots looking out the window, everything looked correct.
Looks good. We're clear of the clouds.
But they weren't. They were flying directly toward a 12,000-foot mountain.
So why couldn't they see it? It was a volcano. It was massive.
This is Sector Whiteout. It is not fog. It is not snow. The light bounces between the white clouds and the white snow. Shadows disappear. The horizon disappears.
The white slopes of Mount Erebus blended perfectly with the white clouds behind it.
White. No.
It's so white. It's beautiful.
That looks like Cape Bird.
They were identifying landmarks, but fitting them into their mental map of the safe route.
I'm going to do a figure 8 orbit here, let the passengers see.
They were 26 miles from the volcano, closing at 300 miles per hour.
Where's Erebus? Where's Skies?
I think it's over to the left in the clouds.
Looking for a mountain to their side. They didn't realize they were flying into it.
I don't like this overcast. We're too low. We'll climb out, set heading for McMurdo.
He decided to leave. But he didn't pull up immediately. He waited.
It wasn't ice. It was the rising slope of the volcano.
Pull up! Pull up!
500 feet!
The GPWS gave them 6 seconds of warning. But they were not flying over flat ground. They were flying into a rising slope.
The plane was pulverized. The fuel ignited.
The fuel endurance has been exceeded. The plane is down.
I see something. A black smear on the ice.
The recovery operation was a descent into hell.
They had to recover the bodies in sub-zero temperatures on the side of an active volcano. The photos proved the passengers were happy until the very last second. They never knew.
But back in New Zealand, a different battle was beginning.
The pilot was flying too low. Pilot error.
They blamed Captain Collins. They blamed the dead crew.
Looks good. Saying pre-morse and depth sign catcher.
We're clear. The airline claimed the pilots were flying recklessly.
But the families of the pilots fought back.
Mahan discovered the secret. The coordinate change. Why were the pilots not told?
Documents disappeared. Notebooks with the old coordinates vanished.
The single dominant cause was the changing of the coordinates. And then he delivered the line that became famous. I am forced to conclude that the airline's defense was, an orchestrated litany of lies.
The pilots were exonerated. It wasn't their fault.
They were flying exactly where the computer told them to go. The computer flew them into the mountain. The airline tried to bury the truth. Today, the wreckage of Flight 901 is still there. Because of the remote location, much of it was never removed.
A ghost flight, frozen in time.
In the summer, when the snow melts, the debris resurfaces.
The disaster changed aviation.
New rules were made about sightseeing flights, about navigation data.
But the lesson came at a terrible price.
The whiteout, the illusion, the lie.
It reminds us that technology is only as good as the data we give it. And that nature, especially in Antarctica, is unforgiving.
It looks innocent, but it is a wall. The mountain they couldn't see. We remember the 257 souls who went looking for the end of the world.
And found it.